Okay, last Saturday I invited Joy to come over to my place to have a traditional Malaysian meal that I prepared, which was nasi lemak. Uh, Nasi lemak is a staple. It's a rice. It's a staple in a Malaysian household. Inviting friends over to have some food or lunch is a common act of Malaysians as a sign of respect or closeness. Mainly families do this a lot by inviting cousins over or close friends. So to avoid any awkwardness, I suggested her to bring along her friends, which she did. Before the interaction happened, I was so scared that if Joy would feel very uncomfortable with the Malaysian style hospitality. After all the videos, even though we are both Asians, we are from different backgrounds at the end of the day. For instance, I rarely see Americans eat rice with their hands, but Malaysians do eat their rice with bare hands. Also, I was afraid if she believed taking off our shoes in our house is a must. Thank goodness she was okay with this and was really being helpful and engaging in conversation of cultural comparison. Joy was very tolerant, unlike her friends who were less polite. They seemed to be troubled by the idea of eating with their hands and taking off their shoes before entering the house. I feel people should be more accepting and understanding of different cultures, even if it differs from theirs, because they do not know the meaning or reason behind another's culture, so they should not judge it beforehand. The first thing we really discussed and talked was on the similarities and differences in our culture, both observable and not observable. On behaviors, we compared how we greet people. In Malaysian culture, males or men rarely hug or even shake hands with the opposite gender, even though they are friends, as it is considered culturally inappropriate. While in America, it's really normal for friends to give hugs when greeting without basing on the genders. I learned that at the end of the day, it's okay to do either of this, as long as one still shows respect to the other party, no matter how the greeting is like, it's totally fine. Apart from that, I brought up the questions of our cultural core values or beliefs. Through our interaction, I learned that both Malaysians and Americans value respecting one another, although we do it in different ways. For example, in Malaysia, it is very important to respect elders. You cannot raise your voice or argue with them. While in America, respect seems to be earned rather than given. Honestly, I see myself to prefer respect that it should be earned than given because I was raised to think critically. If one voices their opinion, no matter if they're older, I think I'm entitled to give my opinion too. Another one we talked about was how I was raised in a collectivist society while my partner lives in individualist society. Malaysians tend to value families above all. Family comes first, and every decision usually is because the support of the people you're around with. Americans, on the other hand, are very independent. They are usually individually focused. They do not live with their parents when they age. Some Americans even pay their own tuition. But I believe no matter individualist or collectivist one culture is, as long as they maintain healthy relationship between one another, they are free to choose their preference in jobs, educations, or their personal goals, whatnot. Uh, as long they're free, they're yeah, it's okay for them to practice either of this. Even though we are brought up in different cultures, we both should appreciate other cultures and show respect to one another. Having my partner over made me realize that understanding one's culture can be difficult. While tolerance and acceptance are easy, we should also try to understand one culture why one culture is different to another. It's hard to take on the perspective on another's culture because you are never fully immersed in their culture. However, we should look on the explanation behind their cultural beliefs and values so we could build relationships with them while creating curiosity and global awareness. Being curious is great because it shows interest in one's culture. In conclusion, my upbringing has shaped into what I am today. I personally believe that one's culture should not be regarded as inferior or superior. In fact, we should celebrate our differences and promote diversity. If we celebrate our differences, we can create a better society due to our understanding and appreciation of difference.